G'day everyone, welcome back Grandma's Handbag. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Dean, and tonight it's a contest entry. Tales from the Crate, Andrews, 1,000 subscribers contest. So we're going to get into that in a second, but first things first, the helper. I've got something quite special I want to share with you guys. 2 glasses here to toast Andrew and Tales from the Crate, but this is the helper. Looks familiar, doesn't it? Now, on the top there, I don't know if you can read this, sorry if I'm going too fast, we have an export version that went to Japan, and I picked this up in Japan a couple of years ago. 45%. So doing my research, we're holding here a bottle of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey, Old Number 7, 45%. So this was released before 1987, because after that it went to 43% or 86 proof. So this is 90 proof. This could even be whiskey from the 1970s. And to toast a great channel and bloke, we've just cracked it open. And Andrew, drinking together on this Broad Strokes contest. Cheers. Wow. And that's an interesting drop. Enough about all of that. Broad Strokes. I forget the exact title. 10 items I'm going to do. I'm going to try and whip through them really quick. So 10 songs, 10 genres. And I'm going to try and micro-genre things a little bit where I can anyway. Needle drops are coming, so stick with those. And let's get into it, okay? The first one here, we've got a compilation out of Germany. Genial Dilettanten, brilliant dilettantes, and this is the music of German subculture in the early 80s. So, for a genre, I'm going to call this German New Wave, No Wave. A great uncompromising listening, but excellent stuff. Very, very much the new wave compared to the krautrock old wave. But to keep it familiar, we've got a version of Jonathan Richman's Pablo Picasso.
Picasso's never called an asshole.
Alright, what do you think of that? I love that version. I think it's fantastic. It's just got all the right squawks and squonks in the right places. Kind of reminds me of the Flying Lizards' Money a bit. That real deconstructed sound, but humour in abundance. Love it. Love it. Speaking of humour and Germany, I definitely think there's a humour in these guys. There's also been a wave of people showing this album. I know Steve Carlson's picked it up recently. Great job on that. Diana Digging in the Crate got it not too long ago as well. And this is a treasured copy of mine. I picked this up a few years ago for $30 and couldn't believe my luck. It didn't look too good, but boy, it cleaned up just beautifully. It's got for the label fans out there, hi Lise, we've got the Vertigo UFO. Lovely stuff. And what are we going to call this genre? Krautrock is probably not a good phrase for me. I actually prefer the term cosmic music. Cosmic music. So, Ralph and Florian, and the track we've got is Tan's music, and I think to me this is You know, just a gorgeous evocation of everything Kraftwerk would go on to do. And maybe better, maybe do it better, but this is criminally ignored and underrated. Not by us music fans, but by the band. Kraftwerk, just release this album again, would you? The world is poorer without reissues. But I'm so lucky to have Australian 1975 copy. Tens Music. I wouldn't mind that music to keep playing so I can get used to this whiskey. This is really lovely stuff, Andrew. Cheers again to your 1,000 subscribers. And let's move on with this contest, hey? The next one, I'm going to call it synth pop, basically. And this is Gweno with... Oh, man, I don't even know if I can say this. Dith Olaf. Anyway, it's Welsh, and it's a fascinating album. It's basically a concept album, all sung in Welsh, based around a book written in Welsh of the same name, vaguely sciencey, dystopian, futuristic, in the 70s. So this album sort of, not exactly a soundtrack, but an analogue to that book. With songs like, well, you'll hear this one in a second. The English translation is Revolution. The second track is Patriarchy. The last track is Time. So there's some weighty concepts on there. Anyway, I find it quite a beguiling listen. It's very, very much in its own field, though. Gweno with Cluedo or Revolution. So that's great synth pop. I really enjoy that album, although being sung almost entirely in Welsh and with actually some Cornish in there. No idea what's going on. Still sounds good though. Alright, sticking in the pop vein for a few. Now we've gone from synth pop, power pop. And this is just a wonderful Australian power pop. Look, the stems kind of go from Paisley Underground to garage rock, garage pop to power pop. It's a stew all over the place. It's on the, I'll get this out for you, on the white label, which is kind of an independent, not independent, but a imprint label of a major. To capture the smaller bands or upcoming bands in the 80s. This was released in 1987, and if you have a look at the band members there with those kind of heavy retro 60s vibe, you kind of get a feel for the music. But anyway, this is an absolute sparkling power pop number. Have a listen. First Sight, The Stems. Absolutely love that song. There's just something that tugs at the heartstrings every time. This next one we're going to go to from power pop now to indie pop. Something I enjoy quite a lot of, and I have to bring out a Little Heard 10-inch. Have to say, Andrew, I love this competition because it's got me pulling out albums and things I haven't heard in a long time. So I really appreciate this contest. Love it. Contests are a great way to theme your music, I suppose, and a way to approach listening with a different concept or a different approach. Anyway, digressing. Sleepy Jackson, this song is Miniskirt, and just a great pop song. I wish Sleepy Jackson could have stayed this way. This would be from 2001 and 2. Be nice if they did, but anyway, Sleepy Jackson, Miniskirt.
If I was a girl, I'd wear a miniskirt into town. To keep you by my side, never let you go home. A couple of things that make me wonder why. The world seems to get fucked up all the time. That's right.
Really enjoy the steel guitar and the countrified licks in there. So, the Sleepy Jackson. Talking of countrified licks, the next one, genre, we'll step across into cowpunk. Jason and the Scorchers, When Angels Cry. So just a 7-inch here. This is, I think, from their second album. And yeah, look, if you can't guess the year, 1989. There we go, got a little promo sticker there. I think this is an Australian 7-inch. And look, what an underrated band. Listening to this really made me want to go out and grab this album. Fantastic writing, and apparently their earlier stuff gets even rougher and hairier, so I'd love to get my hands on that. But When Angels Cry, have a listen. Just a load of quality in there. Really enjoy that. This next one, broadly reggae. Is it religious reggae or not quite a gospel reggae? I mean, we'll just go with reggae. But anyway, Aishan People from 1977. Aishan People were a band out of Toronto, believe it or not. So Canadian reggae, obviously Jamaican and Kingston heritage roots. So from a migrant community in Toronto. Yeah, very interesting stuff. There's little twists of other things going on in there. So the funk and soul elements sort of creep in before you get a reggae tinge coming back to the fore in each song.
We Aishan people need something to keep us together, you know? And above all things, we choose our music. Can you dig on this? Can you? Can you dig on this? Can you?
Yeah, so reggae, very interesting. Not the prime exemplar of reggae, I would have to say, but was thought it'd be something interesting to show anyway. So yeah. All right, from reggae to noise rock, art rock, no wave. I'm not quite sure what to call this one, but Russell Street Bombings. This is quite it's quite an acquired taste. Yeah, noise rock. This last song is probably the one I can latch on to most. There's this kind of suicide style drum machine that just thuds away in the background in the simplest of ways, and then you've got this almost Velvet Underground-esque attempt to solo their way out of a kind of a dirge. I really like it. See what you think. Russell Street Bombings. Couple more for you now. A genre. I don't know if this really counts as one, but I'm going to put it out there. Soundtracks. I don't have a lot of soundtracks, but one that I do and really think is a masterpiece, Requiem for a Dream by Clint Mansell and featuring the Kronos Quartet. Clint Mansell used to be in Pop Will Eat Itself. This is the 2016 reissue. Beautiful, beautiful pressing. Sounds really nice. And yeah, classical, modern classical feel to it, but a great, great soundtrack. This is song is Lux Eterna. Alright, and lucky last, Gospel. So this is a compilation, double LP comp from the 80s called Straight Street, an introduction to black gospel music. Great stuff, just a really good taster. A few different artists and things in here. James Cleveland, Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrers, Dixie Hummingbirds, Mahalia Jackson, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, a lot of great stuff in there, and I'm just going to give you a sample of Man Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Mighty Clouds of Joy. So there you go, some gospel.
Man can't get no satisfaction. It's never not how hard it tries. But man needs he tried, but man needs.
Alright, there you have it, 10 records if I've done my counting right. Thank you everyone for checking in. Really appreciate it. If you don't know Andrew, please go and check out his channel. I couldn't say enough good words about him. In fact, you're probably sick of me saying a lot of words about Andrew. But look, Andrew, a great bloke, a great channel. I have a lot of time for your thoughts and insights on music. You have a life and a humility that shows a lot of thought and a life richly lived through music, and that's something to admire, and I think it's something a lot of us here aspire to. So 1,000 subs, to me that was never within a shadow of doubt for you. I hope you get many thousands more, because you speak the music and we all listen. So I'm going to enjoy this one. Cheers again to you. This is just getting better and better. Can't believe I'm drinking a bit of history. But anyway, history it is. Cheers everyone. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.